Hi, welcome to the Art of Yoga with Cat Justice, and this is the third in my Intro to Yoga series that I'm doing. So in this video, we are going to work through the niyamas, or the observances. So this is the second limb in that Ashtanga, that 8-limb practice of yoga. The first limb being the yamas, we learned what not to do, and so now we're going to learn the niyamas, or what to do. These are different things that can inform the way we practice yoga and the way we live our lives. So to start out, let's start sitting. So you're going to find a comfortable seat that you can find in your body, whether it's propped up maybe on a couple of folded blankets or a cushion, whatever you can do to keep your body to find that comfortable seated position. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and let your hands rest on your lap, either palms up or palms down, whatever's most comfortable. And sitting tall, go ahead and close your eyes. With the eyes closed, you're just going to start to just gently breathe in and out through your nose. And just establishing that nice gentle rhythm for your breath. And when we think through the niyamas, we think through things that we would like more of in our life. So maybe just taking this moment here to sort of think about your values, those sort of core values, what is most meaningful to you. Because the first of the niyamas that we're going to focus on is socha, which means purity. And one way to personify purity is to think about really living true to yourself, being pure to yourself, finding those things that are most important to you, connecting with your deepest values, and then living by them. You can go ahead and open your eyes, and then from here, you're going to just gently take your right hand to the earth, and the left arm is going to lift up and over. And as you breathe and feel this stretch, you're going to just gently ground through your right hand, almost like you're pushing the floor away from you. Notice if that right shoulder is creeping up by your ear, let it soften down. And we're just going to feel that gentle opening through the side body, through the rib cage. And then we're going to let this turn into a twist. So you're going to keep this really nice opening going through the side body. As you bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee, the right hand comes behind wherever it's comfortable. And you just find this gentle twist. Nothing forced. Just let the twist be really soft in your body. And then gently unwind, and we'll take other side. So now the left hand comes down, and the right arm lifts up and over. And you can ground through that bottom hand, again, making sure the shoulder stays away from the ear, stays nice and low. And then just feel that gentle opening now through the right side of the rib cage, the right waist. And then let that opening keep going through the right side as you take the hand to the outside of the knee and gently twist. And then exhale to unwind. From there, I forgot to mention at the start, you might want a yoga strap handy for this practice today, or if you don't have a strap, you don't need anything fancy, you can use a belt or a bed sheet even will work for this, but we don't need it now. We'll need it later. So you can set that aside, and we're going to come into child's pose. So as you come into child's pose, let your knees go wide, if that's, as wide apart as is comfortable, and let your body rest down. And as we've talked about before, you can always add in some support under your hips or under your heart. Let the arms be heavy. Child's pose is another great time to just kind of think through those core values. What would mean kind of purity to you? What would be the purest life you could be living? We're going to keep opening through the rib cage a little bit in child's pose. So now you're going to go ahead and walk your hands over to the left. As your hands walk to the left, you're going to let your hips pull back into the right so that you create this little kind of banana shape to the body, this crescent shape. And then just let your head rest down. And as you feel that crescent shape, that opening through the right rib cage, think about directing your breath there. And then taking the other side, walking the hands over to the right, hips to the left. And breathing now into the left side body. And then coming back to center. And then from here, we're going to start to move through cat and cow. So ground your hands, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Exhale, gently round through the back. Inhale, gently arch. Follow your breath. And as you move from one pose to the next, we're also going to think about another niyama, which is santosha, which means contentment. So as we find cat and cow, you're going to try and find santosha, find contentment in the movement. Moving in a way that feels good to your body. So that might mean the movement is big, it might mean the movement is small. If you find one place in the sequence of moving from cat and cow, one moment where things feel really good, go ahead and pause. Breathe there. You don't have to keep moving. If you find a sweet spot, breathe into it. Enjoy that movement. Enjoy that contentment. And then coming back to neutral. From here, you're going to walk your way to the top of your mat. And then go ahead, tuck your left toes under and slide your left leg back. We're preparing for plank pose. From here, keep reaching back through the heel. Stay strong in that back leg. Nothing else moves. You're just going to bring your right foot back to meet it. Breathing here. Feel the whole front of your body engage. If you need a break, just take one knee back down to the ground. But you want to feel your belly lift towards your spine, your thigh muscles lift towards the ceiling, push the floor away. And then exhale, knees, chest, and chin just gently lower down to the earth. And we'll inhale for cobra pose. Point the toes, reach through the heart, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Create length in the body. Make sure you're breathing. And then to lift out of cobra, go ahead and rise up onto your elbows. Take a breath in sphinx pose. Lifting through the heart. And then lift your hips. Walk up onto your hands and take it back to child's pose. Breathing there. Continuing to slow your breath down. And then from there, reach forward, tuck your toes, and we'll move into downward facing dog. So in down dog, we're starting to open up what we call the back line of the body. It goes all the way from our toes through the soles of the feet, up through the backs of the ankles, the calves, the backs of the legs, up the back, down to the back of the head. The back line, everything that kind of holds us back. So as you just breathe and feel that opening through your back line, and you can always have your knees bent in down dog. That's always fine. Just want that flat back. You don't want an overly rounded back. But as we breathe into that back line, you can think about, again, thinking about saucha, about purity, about what's holding you back from your life. And think about letting go of those things that are taking you away from your core values. And from here, we're going to inhale, find plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, slowly lower. And inhale, couple breaths in cobra. Shoulders away from the ears, create length, create space in the body. And then from here you can lift through Sphinx like we did last time, or you can keep the shoulders away from the ears and gently rise back up to hands and knees and take it back to child's pose. And from child's pose, we'll take that sequence through one more time. You're going to tuck your toes, lift through the hips, find downward facing dog. Feel that opening through the back line of the body. And then inhale, come forward for plank. Thinking about the movement from one pose to the other, the transitions, and try and find kind of that contentment, that santosha. Relish the movement, relish the transitions. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Gently lower. Inhale for cobra. Shoulders away from the ears, create long lines in the body. Relax the jaw, the throat. That's part of contentment too, learning how to not use parts of the body that you don't need. So relax the jaw. You don't need jaw tension in yoga. And you can either rise up through Sphinx like we did last time, or for a challenge, tuck your elbows in at your sides, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and see if you can lift your heart and your hips at the same time. And then exhale, child's pose. And then from here, once again, moving to downward facing dog. Only this time from down dog, we're going to slowly walk our feet up to our hands. Let the knees bend to come into a relaxed forward fold. Just let the body rest forward. And from the forward fold, you're going to bend deeply through the knees, roll on up through the spine, breathing as you go. Add an inhale at the top to circle through the arms. And exhale, bringing the hands back to the heart. From here, take a moment in Tadasana, mountain pose. Find that rooting through your feet. Find the four corners of the feet, lifting through the heart, but softening through the shoulders. And then from here, step the feet to touch. And we're going to sit back into chair pose. As you exhale, sit back through the hips, reach up through the arms. You should be able to look down and see your feet in front of your knees. Hello, toes. From there, shift the weight over to that right leg and slowly, carefully step the left foot back for warrior one. That left foot is going to face mostly forward and the hip follows along, mostly forward. Front knee is going to bend until you can just see the big toe to the inside of the knee. And then you're going to interlace your hands and stretch on up to the sky. Lifting and opening. And then switch the grip of the hands to interlace behind the back, open through the chest. From here, exhale, take the hands to the hips. And then from here, we're going to step on back and find our way back to chair. Same thing to the other side. Shift the weight over to the left leg, slow motion like you're doing yoga on the moon. Step the foot back, and we'll find our way to warrior one. Anchor through the feet, interlace, and stretch on up. Again, check in with that front knee, bending until you can see the big toe to the inside of the knee. Hi, big toe. And switch to take hold of the hands behind the back. Open the chest, relax the face. And hands to the hips, shift the weight forward, and if you can, come right back into chair. And then inhale, back to mountain. From there, step the left foot back and we'll move into warrior two pose. Bringing the feet now heel to arch, front heel lines up with the back arch. Front knee bends until you can see the big toe, and the arms float. Soften through the shoulders, feel the legs grounding and rooting. And then let go of tension in the neck, the shoulders, the spine. The right palm will flip up and we'll inhale for a reverse warrior. Left arm is loosey-goosey. Just let it go. Feel that opening through the rib cage. From here, straighten the front leg for a reverse triangle. Now feel that opening even more through the ribs. And then we'll move all the way to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand is on your hip, right hand comes down to the leg, and then that left hand can stay at the hip or it can reach up to the sky. You want to make sure that the right hand is somewhere on the leg, that you can maintain that opening through the right side of your waist. So if you're really side bending, if you're bending the body in this bowed shape, walk the hand a little higher up the leg. It can be all the way up the thigh. It can be all the way down on the ankle. This pose can look really different. You just want to maintain that feeling of moving from your hips, not from your waist. Bend through the front knee. From here, let's right away switch to the other side. So hands to the hips, and you're going to just pivot that right foot in, and the left foot will pivot out. Heel to arch alignment, bend through the knee, and reach through the arms. Soften the shoulders. Say hi to your left big toe. Hi, left big toe. And then flip the left palm up, reverse warrior. Let the right arm go loosey-goosey. Again, we're going to focus on feeling that opening in that left side because that's going to help us. When we inhale, reverse triangle, we get even more opening. And we're going to stay open through that, like turning right from the hips as you take the left hand to the leg, right hand to the hip or to the sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose on the other side. Again, stay open through the waist on that left side. Think of that big triangle shape you're making between your feet and your top hand. Also making a triangle between your feet and your pelvis and your legs. And then here's the third triangle in this little gap. So you don't want that triangle to have kind of a curved side. You want it to have straight lines. Bend through the front knee. Make your way back up to warrior two. From there, take the hands to the hips, and you're going to pivot the feet. And then we're going to do a big step back to the top of the mat. Step it on up. Feet hip distance apart, hands to your hips. On an inhale, just give a little lift to the heart. And then as you exhale, let your body pour forward. Relax to a forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. And from the forward fold, go ahead, step it back to downward facing dog. And from there, back to child's pose. Find contentment in your breath, contentment in your body. And part of contentment is that attempt to enjoy things as they are, to not feel the need to change them. So just enjoying the sensations that your body is giving you without the need to judge them or try and make them something that they aren't. And from there, go ahead and come on up to seated. And again, if in seated, when you take your legs straight forward, if your back is really rounding, maybe you need some support under your back. So feel free to grab, like I said, a bolster or some folded blankets. Whatever you've got, a pillow will work fine too. Just anything to kind of help lift you up so that you can get this nice flat back. And as we work on opening deeper through that back fascial line, through the things that are holding us back, this is where a yoga strap might come in handy. So you can take a strap or a bed sheet or a belt, whatever you got, and you're going to loop it around your feet. From here, you're going to sit up nice and tall, thinking about socha, about purity, about living your values. We're going to let go of all that stuff behind us that's holding us back. So you can stay nice and tall here. If you're feeling a deep stretch, find contentment in that. If you're not feeling much happening, especially back in the backs of the legs, maybe you need to walk your hands a little further down the strap. But the goal is not to try and touch our toes. The goal is to be able to keep a flat back as we move forward. So if to reach your toes, your back is rolling back, you're not doing yourself any favors. So you're going to come up really tall, wherever you're at. Breathing there, think about creating length. Again, imagine that down dog, that stretch from the soles of the feet up the back leg, up the whole back line of the body, through the back of the neck. And then inhale, come on up. From here, go ahead and step your right leg up. As you step your right foot up, we're going to inhale, reach the left arm long, and then exhale, the left arm is going to wrap around to hug the right knee, and the right hand comes behind. The left toes just gently flex back towards you. Just soft shoulders, lifting through the heart, finding just a gentle twist. Again, there's no forcefulness in the body, there's no pulling. We're just using the arms to help give us that support to lift up tall. And then exhale, gently unwind. Take the leg forward and we'll take the other side. Left knee comes up, lifting tall. Inhale, reach through the right arm, and then exhale, wrap it around. Left hand comes behind to twist. And exhale, gently unwind. Straightening through the leg. Inhale to lift tall. Once again, we're going to fold forward. This time you're going to bring your right foot up so that the foot is flush with the inside of the left leg. From there, maybe you use your strap again to take hold of the foot and come forward any amount. Flat back. Find contentment with what your body is doing right now, not trying to force it to look or feel some way that it doesn't. Inhale, rise it up, and we'll take other side. Loop the strap around the right foot, and the left foot comes up. Lifting and opening. If you don't have a strap, you can do this just with hands on the leg too, it's just fine. Feeling as you lift and open that, feeling like your pelvis is going to kind of lift up and tilt forward. Sometimes I think of it like a basin of water, like you're going to pour it forward to create that deeper stretch in the leg, that deeper opening to support the back. And then release the strap. And from there, we're going to come onto our backs. As you come down onto your back, once again, have the strap handy. And you're going to either take that left leg long and straight on the ground as you hug the right knee in, or if that feels like it's too straining on your back, keep the left leg bent and keep the foot flat. So either way, it can be long or flat. And as you hug the right knee in, maybe just circle the hip a couple of times, going both directions, just loosening up the right leg. And then from there, take hold behind the leg or take hold of your strap. And we're going to reach that foot up towards the sky. So you loop the strap right around kind of the ball of the foot, the mound of the big toe and the mound of the pinky toe. If you don't have a strap, you just take hold behind the leg. It's okay if the knee is bent. Again, we're just trying to get that deep stretch through the back of the leg, particularly the hamstrings at the back of the thigh. Those are often muscles that are holding us back. From here, you're going to take the strap into your right hand and you're going to take your left hand down on your hip. Turn your toes outward like they're pointing out to the right, and then take your leg down to the side, any amount. I get kind of run into my bookshelf, but hopefully you've got more space where you're at. And you're going to make sure that that left hip stays anchored. So we often like to kind of roll towards it thinking we're going further, but you're actually missing the stretch if you do that. So that left hand kind of rests on your left thigh just to keep us honest. Always practicing satya, truthfulness. And then bringing it back up. Now you're going to switch hands. So now the left hand goes to the strap. The right hand rests down at the ground. The toes are going to turn to the left, and you take that leg just like a couple of inches over to the left. Again, oftentimes people are going to roll all the way with the hip off the ground, but you kind of miss the stretch if you do that. So that right hip needs to stay on the ground, or the right lower back. Feeling now the stretch a little bit more into those outer hamstrings, or the outer hamstring muscle. And then back up through center. Take both hands to the strap. Relax the neck, the shoulders. Let the arms be straight so that you're not cranking on the leg or overstraining at the neck. And then from here, you can gently release the strap. Give that knee one last little hug as you take the other side. Bring the left knee to the chest. And again, the right foot can be flat on the floor, and that's going to give you more support. Or it can be long, whatever feels good. And go ahead, take a little circling for the knee. A couple times each way. And then as you're ready, loop the strap around the foot and reach on up. So first, just getting the line, kind of the stretch straight down the back of the leg. Again, arms are straight, so don't overstrain at the neck. Relax the jaw, the head. Slow your breathing. And then from there, take the strap into the left hand. And the right hand is going to come onto your right thigh. Keep you honest. Keep that thigh rooted as you turn the toes to the left and take the leg out to the left as far as is comfortable. Again, it really doesn't matter how far it goes. It matters what it feels like, that feeling of opening through the inner hamstrings, the groin. And bring the leg back up, switch hands, turn your toes over to the right as you take the leg, again, just a few inches to the right. If that hip starts to come off the ground, you've gone too far. Just bring the stretch now a little bit more into the outer hamstring muscle. And then bring it straight up again. Sometimes in this last round, like after you do the side to side, you can get a little bit of a deeper stretch. Maybe you can sneak your hands a little higher up the strap. Maybe. And wherever you're at, release the strap and hug the knee into the chest. From there, take both feet flat on the floor. Let your arms just gently open out at your sides. And we're going to do a super just relaxed, lazy twist. So you're going to lift your hips up and scoot them over to the right, one little scoot, and then let your knees roll to the left. And the knees can be apart, or you can stack if that feels better. Let the shoulders rest into the ground, and you can turn your head right, left, or anywhere in between. Think about breathing all the way through your lower back, lower belly. And then rise it back up, scoot the hips back to midline, and then scoot them over to the left. And exhale, let the knees roll to the right. And again, the knees can be apart or they can be stacked. Just make sure that that left shoulder stays in contact with the ground. If the left shoulder comes up off the ground, it tends to kind of tighten and strain at the neck. The knees don't matter though. They don't have to touch the floor. They're fine. And then as you're ready, slowly bring the knees back up, scoot the hips back to midline, and we'll come into Shavasana, into our final relaxation pose. And you can, in Shavasana, if you've got something to support under your knees, feel free to tuck it under them. Otherwise, you can just lie flat on your back too, if that feels fine on your back. But you're going to let your legs rest down, your arms rest down, palms the hands face up so we get that subtle opening across the heart. Close the eyes and let your body melt. Let it go. Breathing in and out through the nose. With every exhale, let your body just go all mushy into the floor. Noticing wherever you make contact with the earth. We did all that great opening through the back line of the body. So now let that opening just translate into softness. Softening into that contact with the earth. As you breathe and relax more and more in Shavasana, Satya and Santosha are great things to explore in this pose as well. One of the things that yoga does is it brings us closer to our inner truth, to who we truly are. And getting closer to that inner truth is a great way to explore what your purest self would be, what your purest life would look like. And Shavasana is also a wonderful time to practice Santosha, to practice contentment. Learning to be content with stillness. Thinking of this time as like the dessert at the end of the meal. Really drinking in this relaxation time. And if you feel like you've just gotten your Santosha going, that contentment, you can stay, you can pause the video. But if you're feeling like it's time to move on, you can also wiggle fingers and toes. Gentle circles for wrists and ankles. Little movements, just gradually growing, evolving into any kind of organic stretching or moving that feels good. And as you're ready, go ahead, hug knees to chest, gently rock to one side. As you roll on your side, as always, just honoring that transition from Shavasana back to the rest of your day. Taking a couple breaths here. And when you're ready, coming back up to seated. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. Congratulations and making it to the third in our series. I hope this is meaningful for you. And feel free to check out some of my other videos as you go, or leave comments if you are feeling like you want something that I'm not offering. Let me know. And I hope you're doing great. And stay tuned for the next session coming shortly. Namaste.